Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Julian Alvarez breaks silence on potential Atletico Madrid exit after Liverpool transfer links. Ex-Liverpool target. Julian Alvarez is remaining calm about his future amid fresh suggestions he could leave Atletico Madrid. The Argentine striker was strongly linked with a move to Anfield this summer. In the end, Atletico's price is said to have put Liverpool off, while the Reds then moved for Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak from Eintracht Frankfurt and Newcastle, respectively. And while Alvarez remained in Madrid, his future is still up in the air. Spanish rivals Barcelona are the latest to be linked with the 25-year-old, but he has assured fans that he's not even considering a move right now. Speaking to ESPN, he said, "I'm very calm. There's always talk, but the truth is that the season is just starting now. My focus is on improving every day, win for Atletico. That's the only thing on my mind. Social media stories are beyond me. Alvarez is not the only one to have offered an update on his future. His agent Fernando Hidalgo recently spoke out and revealed that an offer was not actually forthcoming from Anfield. In the first place, there were no official offers from Liverpool to sign Julian last season, and everything that has been said in this regard is false," Hidalgo told Aram News. Hidalgo continued, "Last summer, there were no offers because Atletico de Madrid didn't want to sell the player, so negotiations didn't take place. Meanwhile, Atletico boss Diego Simeone also appears to have shut down any talk of an exit for Alvarez, having expressed his desire to keep the Argentine forward at the Wanda Metropolitano. He said, 'Julian is the best player we have. We need to take care of him, to keep him here at Atleti for many years. He has to help us, and we have to help him, so he can become even better than he already is. Every time he makes a difference. He helps us a lot.' Alvarez joined Atletico Madrid in a $81.8 million switch from Man City a year ago and signed a 6-year deal in the process. He netted 29 goals in all competitions across his debut season in Spain. The forward has also started the new season in fine form with 7 goals in 8 appearances, while he also played a starring role in Tuesday evening's 5-1 win against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League. Alvarez will be aiming to extend his hot start to the season against Celta Vigo this weekend. Liverpool handed boost as new Ibrahima Konate contract update emerges. It's believed Liverpool is growing, confident of securing a new contract with defender Ibrahima Konate. The French international's contract at Anfield is set to expire at the end of the season, mirroring the situation that led to Trent Alexander-Arnold's acrimonious exit during the summer. Spanish team Real Madrid has been strongly linked with a move for the 26-year-old, potentially capitalizing on his contract expiry. A return to his homeland has also been suggested, with French champion Paris Saint-Germain reportedly keen on adding the defender to its ranks as manager Luis Enrique seeks to bolster his league and Champions League winning defense. As per L'Equipe, Liverpool has tabled another contract offer, and it's reported that negotiations are in progress, with the Reds optimistic about reaching an agreement. The report suggests that Arne Slot's Reds resumed contract discussions with the defender after they were temporarily paused to allow him to concentrate on Liverpool's successful Premier League title bid last season. This season, there's an increased emphasis on Konate maintaining his fitness, given the limited defensive options available to the Dutch coach. The departure of Jarell Quansah created a vacancy, which was filled by Giovanni Leone, the 19-year-old recruit from Serie A outfit Parma. However, the gifted defender has been sidelined for up to a year after sustaining an anterior cruciate ligament injury during his debut in the Carabao Cup against Southampton, combined with the collapsed summer transfer that saw Marc Guéhi's switch fall apart at the last moment. Liverpool is left with restricted central defensive choices in Joe Gomez. There remains the potential that the Reds can depend on support from players such as Wataru Endo and Ryan Gravenberch. Dropping back from midfield, Konate's performances have faced scrutiny throughout the Reds' title campaign, and this has resulted in condemnation from sections of the press. Following struggles against Bournemouth and Newcastle, The center-back demonstrated his class in subsequent matches, but endured difficulties during Tuesday's 1-0 Champions League loss to Galatasaray. Slot recently commented on his defender's form, stating, "I think he has things he can improve." But for him, starting this season with a different fullback next to him probably is different as well. He and the team had Ryan Gravenberch in front of them for the first time against Newcastle. So I think it's partly also adjustment to each other. And partly, I think the biggest strength of Ibu is of course his defensive quality. You could already see last season when he and Virgil were playing together. They mainly make sure Virgil doesn't get the ball, so he needs to bring the ball out of the back. That he does sometimes really good. But his consistency in that part is definitely something he can improve. But that will also improve the more we work together, the more he's used to the right full back next to him, the more he's used to the other players that are in front of him as well. It's a mess, Carragher tells Slot to drop one player after Liverpool lose to Galatasaray. Jamie Carragher thinks Liverpool need to drop Florian Wirtz with the Reds, needing to build defensive solidity to get back to their best. Liverpool suffered their second defeat in 4 days as a victor. Osimhen penalty gave Galatasaray all 3 points in their Champions League clash in Istanbul. It was another concerning performance from Arne Slot's side, who still look well below the levels of last season, which saw them lift the Premier League title. Despite sitting top of the Premier League this campaign, many observers think they have been lucky to win 5 of their first 6 matches, and Liverpool legend Carragher has pointed to their defense as being one of the main problems, with the Reds lacking solidity in that area this term. Carragher told CBS Sports, "I don't feel like I'm watching a top team. Liverpool aren't playing football right now, they are playing basketball, and it's just end to end. I don't think top teams play like that. Liverpool went from a workmanlike team, and they've sprinkled a little bit of stardust on that with the transfers that they brought in. They haven't gained anything going forward, but they've lost a lot defensively. Last season was such a smooth ride, but now he's got to really earn his money, because there are a few problems that need to be fixed." And Carragher also urged Slot to drop Liverpool attacking midfielder Wirtz, who joined in the summer from Bayer Leverkusen in a deal that could be worth up to 116 meters, with the Germany international yet to provide a goal contribution this season. Carragher added, "Right now, I don't think the balance of the team is right. And the obvious one that stands out is Florian Wirtz. He's just not at the races at all. He's a young boy coming into a new league, and he's got plenty of time to go as a Liverpool player, but right now I think he needs to come out of the team. Liverpool get back to where they were last season, and then go from there and try and build some confidence and defensive solidity, because right now it is a mess. It's not the losses, it's not the defeats, it's the performances. And this has been coming from day one. Liverpool got battered by Newcastle in the second half of that game, and Newcastle had 10 men. That cannot happen. Crystal Palace created 7 big chances, which is more than any team has conceded in a game this season, and Liverpool are the champions. This is not a shock, it's been coming, and the manager needs to fix it." Liverpool confident of extending struggling stars' contract despite form criticism. Ibrahima Konate may be struggling for his best form this season, but Liverpool have offered him a new contract and are confident he will sign. It has been a tricky few days for the Reds, as their perfect start to the season was derailed by defeats at Crystal Palace and Galatasaray. Victor Osimhen scored the only goal of the night on Tuesday as Arne Slot's men were beaten in Istanbul on a really bad evening for the club, which produced injury concerns for both Alisson Becker and Hugo Ekitike. There were also more worries over the form of some players, including Konate, who has not had the best start to the season. Even when Liverpool won their opening 5 Premier League games, the 26-year-old has remained first choice alongside Virgil van Dijk at centre-back, as he was last season under Slot, but struggled again in Istanbul on Tuesday. The France international is into the last year of his contract and has been linked with a move to Real Madrid next summer on a free transfer. However, French publication L'Equipe report that the Premier League champions have offered the defender a new deal and are confident that he will sign in. The report states that a contract offer was made in December, but did not satisfy Konate in his role as a regular in the starting 18th. The latest offer was made in mid-September, and the Reds are hopeful it will be accepted, with Real Madrid yet to make any bid to sign the center-back. Konate criticism, whether it is because of the distraction of his uncertain future or just a dip in form. Konate has come in for criticism from Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher. Liverpool look vulnerable at the back, he told Sky Sports after the loss at Galatasaray. Ibrahima Konate put in another poor performance in Turkey, with his hospital pass to Ryan Gravenberch nearly giving Galatasaray a second. He and the other Liverpool defenders could not deal with Victor Osimhen. After wins over Bournemouth and Newcastle to start the season, Carragher was critical of more than one Liverpool star, but had the sternest words for Konate. There are people for Liverpool who have made a really poor start to the season. Carragher told Sky Sports after Liverpool's dramatic 3-2 win over Newcastle. Mo Salah is one of them, even though he has got a goal and an assist. Konate is another one. He has been all over the place. He was all over the place last week. He is more interested in grabbing his arm. He was really poor in the first half as well. He is not at the races at all. I absolutely shudder to think where Liverpool would be without Virgil van Dijk, who has been absolutely outstanding. At one stage, I remember Anthony Gordon winning a header against Konate in the first half and thinking that can't happen. Injury headaches for Slot. Both Alisson and Ekitike were forced off with injuries, with Slot confirming his goalkeeper would not be available at the weekend. When he sprinted back, he felt something, the manager said of his goalkeeper, who was taken off after 56 minutes. I cannot tell you because I am not a physician, but normally, when a player sprints back and feels something and goes to the floor and doesn't come back to the pitch, which by the way they did 112 times, being injured and coming back on the pitch without any pain, but our players don't do this. So if one of our players is on the floor 9 times out of 10, I fear the worst, and with the worst, I mean he cannot continue. And that is what happened with Alisson. He will not be able to play Saturday. That is 99.9% certain. I have already said 100%. It was more positive on the French forward, who felt he could have been suffering with cramp rather than a hamstring injury, but will be scanned to confirm. Hugo felt something when he had to reach for the ball when we were trying to force something, Slot said. After the game, players feel, it is not too bad, but it is different when you have to make a sprint. Let's see how he is for the weekend. Liverpool injury return dates as Alisson, Hugo Ekitike, Giovanni Leone all out. Liverpool suffered another setback as it fell 1-0 to Galatasaray in the Champions League. The Reds were defeated after Victor Osimhen converted from the penalty spot to secure victory for the hosts, inflicting further misery on the visitors in Istanbul. Arne Slot's players have now dropped their previous 2 fixtures following their weekend loss to Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Focus will now shift to Saturday's encounter when Liverpool travels to face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool has already been compelled to address several selection headaches and fitness issues during the early stages of the campaign. The reverse against Galatasaray will now present Slot with additional choices to consider moving forward. Here, we examine the current Liverpool injury situation and expected return dates. Alisson Becker sustained an injury during Liverpool's reverse to Galatasaray in the Champions League. The goalkeeper required attention from the medical team in the second period, before being withdrawn and replaced by Georgi. Mamardashvili. Slot confirmed following the match that the Brazil international is anticipated to miss the encounter with Chelsea at the weekend. I have to manage minutes as well, Slot told Amazon Prime. Hugo Ekitike going off, hopefully not in a bad way. Alisson going off. That's why we do need to rotate a bit. It's never positive if you go off like this. You can be sure that he's Alisson not playing on Saturday, so let's wait how long it is going to take. But he is definitely not going to play on Saturday. Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike also picked up a suspected injury during Liverpool's Champions League defeat to Galatasaray. The French forward signaled to the Liverpool dugout that he required medical attention for what looked like a muscular problem. It's unclear whether Ekitike will face a spell out with Chelsea's Premier League visit looming at the weekend. Speaking about Ekitike, Slot explained, he felt something when he had to reach for the ball. I think we all know which moment it was. When we were trying to force something, I thought I can't get that long of a time. On the other side, there was someone on the floor as well. The referee blew his whistle, and I wasn't really thinking that we had an injury, but Hugo felt something. And after the game, that's always the difficult thing with these moments. When players feel like, oh, it's not too bad, but when you just walk around with something different, and when you make a spin, you have to shoot another one from the target. He said he couldn't continue, so we had to take him off. Let's see how he responds. Giovanni Leone. Giovanni Leone is set for a lengthy spell on the sidelines after sustaining an ACL injury in last week's Carabao Cup victory over Southampton. The injury occurred during the final moments of his debut match for the Reds, and it's anticipated that he'll be out of action for most, if not all, of the season. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.